analyst, and I'm the dum-dum that just says what's on the screen. Okay.
I am also dum-dum.
Okay. Well, I think you're supposed to talk yourself up now that we've talked ourselves down.
I am very smart.
That's another story. Okay, Hellbear Smashers versus Team Nigma. 1-1 in a best of 3. Whoever wins this stays in the upper bracket. Whoever loses goes to the lower bracket. Again, saying the very obvious things for anybody that has looked at a bracket at any point in the last month, because it's the same format. It's for TI quals. Cinderin, are you excited?
I'm excited, and I think, honestly, Nigma fans, in my opinion, have a lot to be excited in this game, because I think in isolation, if you disregard what they're against, I really like how their lineup looks with itself. This is the kind of strategy that I really like in this patch. It's a high tempo mid hero. Nigma do this the best when they have Miracle and Invoker, but that's getting banned every game. But they put him on this Ember Spirit so he can play fast. They have the Nyx as well. They set up their team fight really nicely with chains in this game. It's great for Sunray, it's great for Timbersaw, it's great for Terrorblade to kill heroes. So I'm very I'm feeling more confident in Nigma in this game, and I think maybe, I don't know, I don't want to analyze too much based on the 2 games they've played, but I feel like they might have figured something out based on how those last 2 games went. Even though the last one was a win, they're making some, in my opinion, great adjustments here. For Smashers, I don't know about Mirana, man. I'm not sure what to make of it. I barely ever see this hero played in that role, so we'll see if Bornea can pull out some magic. Apart from that, their lineup looks solid. Again, Ace with the last pick PL, like the panel pointed out, probably a worse PL than one.
iLTW, he's the one that loses death at the beginning of the game. Dragon Tail, the first one goes to Ace. That was a double smoke from each respective side, Cinderin. We talked about last game that we don't see it very often. We see it here. Neither team ran into each other initially, but the patience, Smashers, very nicely done.
It did pay off, but at the same time, look at Rasmus here. He actually has to TP to his lane now. This is what we talked about, right? When you fight that late on the runes, you're susceptible to this happening. He's now TP top, so if they realize this, they can just swap lanes if they think it's good for them. They know now, okay, Dragon Knight's definitely top. He doesn't have TP. He uses mana, so we could get that Timber magic if we wanted to again. For now, they are electing to stay in their lanes, though. Oh, good pressure on Tofu. Actually, skilling Ikura's dive. Kuro, they were not expecting that.
Very unusual. The man in the kill, so nicely done.
So rare on Phoenix level 1 now.
So I know you found this Mirana mid weird. The panel is talking about how Bornea is kind of known for this from time to time.
Yeah.
I need to understand it, Pig. I'm guessing part of it was the leap aspect to be able to kill Egg at some point. There's got to be some part of it. They have Dragon Tail into Arrow. Like, I see the setup, but the hero mid is very weird. What are your theories about, like, what do you think about this matchup? Start things about Ember versus Mirana.
That's probably the primary reason we don't see very much mid Mirana, right? Is that it just doesn't really have any very good matchups. Hero has relatively weak base stats. The attack animation is not great, so I think Miracle's just going to have a great time in this lane. I don't see Mirana, like, basically ever winning here. She can probably draw if she does well. And also, a lot of these ranged versus mid matchups, historically ranged heroes do very well, but now that there's more water runes and everything, a lot of melee heroes are actually thriving, just getting those runes all the time. And Ember is going to be able to push the lane with Flame Guard, get water rune every time when he wants. Gonna grab one right now, as a matter of fact. And yeah, I don't know. I think Smashers were digging a little bit deep. They wanted to pick a Bornea hero so that they could last pick the carry. So it was between either, what were his options there? It was Mirana, or there was one other hero he plays a lot that was still in the pool. Lina was still there. They could have grabbed the Lina, but he would have picked it into Nyx. A really hard matchup. When they had it in game 1, Nyx was banned first phase.
I mean, early on, Miracle is definitely favored right now. Has an 8 CS lead, but I mean, at what point, like from Bornea, what are you looking? You're just looking to survive the lane until you can get these combos off. You're looking for a rotation from. I mean, it's not like DK can come early, right? And the only other potential setup is the Bushwhack.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to get some sort of value out of this arrow setup, like close to the end of the laning stage.
For sure.
From the catch up, at least.
I don't think you try to win mid by killing there. I think you focus on using the Mirana to enable the team rather than the other way around. Rotating on mid is just too hard in this game. Don't bother. Let Mirana get levels, let Mirana get some farm, and hopefully for her she can find a connection on Dragon Tail in the top lane on a Terrorblade kill. Which is one thing Mirana's pretty good at, is killing Terrorblade early on. She has a lot of magic damage. Tofu will die. And Mind Control finding that. Mind Control the 0-2-2 build now.
He is very tanky. Alright, what do you think of PL then? I mean, there's some options. They talked about racing. I know that Juggernaut isn't picked, but it felt like an okay Juggernaut game, especially if you want to play at a very high pace. Good egg killer, good for high pace, and I think it's actually not that bad against TV these days because of the shard.
Terrorblade late game.
Yeah. But they picked PL.
Yeah.
They did win game 1.
They did. Like we said, it's probably a worse game for the hero, but you know, you look at your pool, you look at your player, and you ask. And you're like, okay, what do you want to play here? What do you think is best? And I'm with you. I think Jugger could have also been good, but I can't say with confidence that it would have been a better choice. The good thing about Jugger here is Healing Ward is very good in this game against something like Timbersaw and Phoenix, but and the Juggernaut eventually, this is very counterintuitive, I think, to a lot of people. In my opinion, Juggernaut is actually one of the best late game carries against Terrorblade. But the reason we're so hardwired to think of Terrorblade as a Jug counter is that you go back a year and people were counterpicking Jug with Terrorblade and just running him over in the mid game. But with the new shards, with new talents, with new items, the balance has just shifted a bit where I think Jugger can actually... We saw that at the Major in a game even. Yeah. There was a Juggernaut late game that just bodied Terrorblade. Oh yeah, we have the PL here.
GH top lane. Yeah, I didn't think they would have enough damage, but with the 2 levels of Bushwhack and Acorn Shot was just enough. Yep. We're seeing the 1 level of Breeze Fire right now.
iLTW here, good pressure.
All right.
He's actually in trouble possibly here. Oh, good bounce back on that. That's
not quite there, but the one more right click will do it, and the vision from Rasmus ensures that they get that kill. So 2 kills here in the top lane for Smashers. That is very, very good news.
That was basically a 50-50. That Acorn Shot had to bounce back to Terrorblade, not on the creep, to get the kill, and Gilgir rolls a natural 6. Wait, that's not a good roll, is it? He rolls a 6?
Oh, I don't know anything about D&D. I'm sorry.
Everybody knows something about regular dice. 6 is good in most cases.
Yes, I think so. The 1 is bad. That's the Snake Eyes.
Forced to TP out bottom.
Yeah, they're just continuing to just spam out the iLTW in terms of the magic damage, which is what you have to do at this stage of the game. But back to mid lane. I mean, look at the CS. I don't know how much of this is actually jungle creeps. With Bornea, only 6 CS behind.
Prizes now. Radiant's middle tower.
But he's pretty 500 net worth behind, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's pretty significant, actually. But at the very least, he's not out leveled horribly. I mean, I was expecting this to be just absolutely awful. So. Pushback onto the illusion and the tree as well. Top lane, seeing the damage come through.
Yes.
Cold Feet actually procs as well. Now the TP's come in, so it might cost Rasmus his life, but he'll take this any day of the week. In fact, take the Miracle TP as well. Get the Bushwhack, but it's not really going to prevent anything. So it's a 1-for-1. But this leaves Mind Control in the bot lane to defend for himself here. He has pushed Ace completely out of lane.
PL is not coming back down.
Middle tower is under attack.
If anyone goes to sit bottom, it's Hoodwink. Giving the tip to Mind Control here. Good job, buddy. You picked Timbersaw, I guess.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a pretty random tip. There's just a Timbersaw pushing a tower. This is pretty standard. Nothing crazy here.
I have hung around Misery enough to know. I mean, I don't know how much he's changed over the years, but he would be complaining about somebody picking Timber. So, unless it's us with Moo picking Timber at TI every game, you know, then that's fine. But it's not so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tier 1 tower is able to be taken out by Team Nigma, and on the other side, Smashers applying some pressures at half HP right now. Rasmus not quite level 6. But still has done a significant amount of damage to this tower. He's getting another Dragon Tail off. He's just spamming this in left, right, and center.
He's actually dead for this, I think.
Yeah, that's TP support. Oh, push back onto 2 again. GH gets the Impale off in the meantime, though. Kuroki, level 4, gets off the Fairy Fires. Rasmus is just running around in circles. But with the rotation of Mind Control, you have to think that it's inevitable death here for Rasmus. I wonder if a TP comes out. That's the real question, Cinder. Who TP's in here? Rasmus dies to the hands of Kuroki, as usual. No tips at all, so really disappointed.
He is forcing some movement, at least with this, but it did feel a little bit overzealous to try to go for that stun under the tower in that situation. Nigma very quick with the punish, but with obviously mind control rotating up there, this now gives Ace a little bit more space to work with down here, because now he has access to the creep waves. He's going to farm wave plus hard camp every minute. Probably even get the small camp as well as another kill.
Near that triangle there, another bushwhack though, into the arrow this time. Looks like GH can take the brunt of the damage there, but it's not a whole lot of damage to speak of. As Nyx is going to take a tumble, so it's a 1-for-1 across the lanes here. Now Rasmus, I mean, he has a 3-level deficit if you compare the off lanes here. That is pretty gigantic. I mean, can't be too surprised, I guess, although at this stage, Misery maybe a little lower than you would hope for.
Courier has been killed.
Except Dragon Tail now, though.
Yeah, I guess it's also a bit expected, right? If you consider how early mind control is left alone, he will get a bigger experience. Like, he just has more experience to draw from than Rasmus, so it's not like he just destroyed the lane way harder than him. But I think at this point you would ideally like to be level 7 as DK. So he's definitely slowed down a bit. But he gets that 6, they have the Dragon Tail. Obviously this makes for a very easy arrow setup like we've talked about now with the range setup from DK. Mind control is killable. He doesn't have anything for his hood just yet, so Mirana and Dragon Knight actually pack quite the punch, especially if Ice Blast comes in with the Tome in at 10. Need to give Topher a little bit of space for that to be the case, though. He's only level 4 and a third, which is very low. Not even bridging the gap to 6.
Mind
They're going to try to kill regardless.
He's going to get bushwhacked here, and the arrow to follow, and all the extra damage thanks to the Ice Vortex. More than enough. Yeah,
very easy.
Kill. Now Rasmus might be able to just solo this tower if there's no TP support on the way.
Denying the rune is good.
Nope. Gets the bushwhack off again. Hey, I don't know if he's missed the bushwhack in all the games. He's played the same hero, so he's got the practice. Sure. I'm impressed though. I'm really impressed with his play on this hero. We saw a lot of games in the major, and it was just, you know, it was a hit or a miss, but a lot of underwhelming games. I feel like consistently throughout these 3 games, he has been on point.
He's been good, for sure. I definitely see why they value it this much when playing it like this. And I think overall... Oh, good arrow. Not anything on that, though. Just Nigma trying to take advantage of their siege creep plus Timber Saw. Very classic thing to do when you have Timber. Alright, there's the bushwhack miss, Shannon. You got it.
Yep. Caster Curse, thank you very much. Wait, did he get the item? That's the real question. Will he be 3 for 3?
Not yet.
How many do they have left?
They're not getting it. Oh, that's a problem.
No. Can they win without it? The real question. Bornea getting bursted, but will leap to safety. Mind control creating as much space as possible with GH's help. You get the impel on Gilgurt. It doesn't look like Chakram does connect
Mind
it.
control's now a bit compromised here.
Ace is here. A blast to follow, so the Sunray's going to do absolutely nothing. That is the second death for Mind Control after he got up to such a good start. So huge kills.
You're just not safe on Timber in this game. There's a couple of things that are really nasty. You're playing into Ice Blast and you're playing into Hoodwink's ultimate burst. Timbersaw generally considered a counter to Hoodwink because it cuts all the trees, so it's hard to hit bushwhack. But when it comes to it, if you have other ways of setting up the stun, then you're not so reliant on the trees, right? They're going to just Dragon Tail, and they're going to arrow, and then they're going to Hoodwink bolt. They won't even need the bushwhack if the other guys set him up. And Mind Control really needs to... You know, I don't... It makes sense he thinks he's that tanky. He just isn't. Because usually Timber at this point, with a hood and a wand, feels very tanky. But he dies in a Dragon Tail. His heroes are there, and you just... No save available. Phoenix heal doesn't matter. It's also only level 1, actually. Or with the max fire spirit. A lot of the time we see 1-2-4, but he's 1-4-1. Perhaps partly because of the AA matchup.
The rune of invisibility.
Damage.
And Miracle's working on a Maelstrom for himself. Not a huge surprise considering he's going against a PL this game. And obviously it's going to help his form quite a bit. Now the real question is, what's Bornea going to go for? He's going for Dragon Rest right now, so he has to expend 2 leaps already. A Blast comes out, but Tofu is going to take a tumble.
Arrow?
Arrow connected as well, but he's
I keep getting excited over arrows. There's just no one there.
Yeah.
Radiant
They don't really... I mean, without the AA Blast, in addition to a couple of heroes, they're not going to really be able to burst anybody down. But do you have any clue what the build is for Mirana? This looks like a right-click build.
Middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go Dragon Lance Maelstrom, probably.
Oh, Impale. Ace, he does have Doppelganger onto the other side of the cliff. Miracle gets the snare off, but not a whole lot of follow-up, so we'll get the one.
He's top net worth, actually. After that start bot, Ace has been doing a really good job of finding time.
Your place.
There's that. You can take the Miracle.
Ace also did a good job of finding the possessed mask in the jungle. That'll help his. Like you said, he had to get into the jungle at level 5, right? So not exactly the best jungle hero for sure. That stage.
The prize is mine.
For Nia. Right now he knows that Spike Carapace is on cooldown. Not able to get the arrow off again. No real connection. His farm is okay, not compared to Miracle. Miracle's doing quite well.
So I suppose Mirana has a pretty big power spike on level 15 as a core with right clicks because you get 75 attack speed from Leap, from the talent, and you get 15 damage on 10. Just instinctively looking at this item build, Dragonlance into BKB, I feel like this hero does not do that much damage, but I'm ready to be surprised. Like I said, not very popular right now. And that could also catch Nigma off guard, you know? That's something that they're not very familiar with playing against in this current patch. There's a little bit of an X factor there.
Yeah, he has the shard queued up as well, so that gives him an extra leap, and it gives him a critical strike, a 1.5 critical strike. During this, I don't know how, I guess it's during the whole duration of the leap buff itself is Mirana. Gets initiated on, but he is he's good to go. How long is the buff, actually? Say in
2.5 seconds.
Oh, there it is, yeah. Wow. So 2.5 seconds and you get 4 leaps and you get a 1.5 crit.
Yeah, and it's a guaranteed crit, right?
Yeah.
Every attack.
That's the way that I read it. Is that
that's pretty decent, actually. Yeah. It's not bad. Oh, iLTW. He is out.
Radiant
Perfectly fine. No need to get excited, Cinderin. Good effort. 2K network lead here, though, for Team Nigma. But you're right, the BKB right out of the gate, basically, after Dragonlance is quite interesting.
This is my shout.
Ace is getting initiated in the triangle again. TPs are coming in, though. Ace got dusted, looks like, but there's initiation from Rasmus this time. 3 heroes grouped up here on the side of Team Nigma as the egg is popped. Can they kill it? There's the leap in with the right click from Mirana. That is more than enough, but it might cost him his life. He turns around with the ice splash, just hit everybody. Miracle now on the run. He's going to be shattering here pretty soon. A 3-for-1. It just cost Rasmus his life. He'll take that any day. I didn't know that interaction. Bushwhack, Timber Chain? Did you see that?
Yeah, it apparently works like that.
That is very weird. Is that not a stun, technically?
It's kind of like Yules, where if you Yule after throwing Timber Chain, you break the Yule, and you also break offensive Yules. I don't know why it works like that with Bushwhack, because technically he's stunned to a tree, but I guess just that minimum bit of movement he does when stunned in the chain separates him from the tree, and when you're not bound to the tree as Hoodwink, it obviously stops the stun, so... Huh. I don't know, it's a bit weird to me, but... That one feels we're just gonna have to accept this and move on.
Yeah, I remember that cartoon. That was good stuff. Dota Reporter. That does feel like a bug, though. I know there's a couple interactions with Hoodwink who were like, they could just keep that as a feature, probably. We're gonna see Team Nigma doing the Smashers jungle. Ace is gonna spot this out, though. Yeah, they see Miracle. They're gonna apply their pressure to start with, but GH gets off the mana from and the A blast comes in, connecting onto 2. So you can see that Ace is taking the brunt of the damage along with Rasmus on that whirling death. Now the PL is dead just like that, in addition to the AA. It's gonna be the clamp on the Phoenix, though.
Radiant's
So
bottom
3-for-1, actually. My goodness, Rasmus really got out of there, but control.
Great Sunray from Kuro. That was really impactful. I think he had it on 2 enemies and 2 allies the whole time. And that choke point, Phoenix very, very good with that Sunray. And they're gonna reap their reward with a tier 2 tower. iLTW just untouched.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Job done. So Mirana had a double damage in that fight, and she did a lot of damage with that. So she can definitely deal damage.
Bushwhack into the arrow. Mr. Miracle is dead. The A blast connecting on iLTW, but the sharpshooter will not end up hitting him this time around. Pretty big kill, though, after a really bad fight for Smashers. Rasmus pop that Dragon Form. Might find Kuroki here. They get the nice stun. Yeah, great layering from Smashers again. Will be turning into a tier 1 tower to boot.
Yes, I was going to say a little bit earlier that it's problematic for Smash because how far behind Rasmus is falling in this game. He has 6k net worth, and the reason that's an issue is they rely a lot on him to set up and ideally get multiple stuns in the fight, but it feels without a BKB, if he jumps in and stuns afterwards, he's going to die to Sunray, he's going to die to Timbersaw, and oh boy, that's a hoodwink. That was there a moment ago.
100 to 0. Goodness gracious.
Did you hear my dog barking?
Sure didn't. My boy Onion at it again.
You didn't?
Huh? No. Oh, Onion, hi for me. Appreciate his presence.
He's busy right now, so can't say hi to the dog.
Maybe you can get him to Cassidy next game instead of me. That'd be great.
Yeah. Rasmus sees GH.
Did you fall?
Yeah, they're gonna get the Dragon Tail into the Ice Blast, easy peasy, like you said. Miracle does have a Remnant out, so like he'll be fine unless they can get a crazy initiation somehow. But it looks like it, again, I haven't seen this Mirana firsthand, but it does feel like this timing of BKB into Shard is kind of the go time. And we'll see how
He's doing
powerful
great so
it
far.
is.
He's 5-0-6, he has decent farm. My primary concern is his ability to win late game against Terrorblade and Timbersaw, but if he can keep up this pace, he might just get there. Very, very excited to see how this pans out, especially the 15 talent, how much that matters. Yeah, good stuff. BKB is complete and 200 gold for Ania. And how we're looking for Rasmus, so he's far away from his. 3k to go for his BKB, and it's just so important. We've seen a couple of fights this game. He blink stuns, and then the punish from Phoenix Timber is just instant. You can get caught in the next stun as well, so has to be very careful how he approaches fights.
Is under attack.
Mind Control actually picking up a Heaven's Halberd. You don't get to see that every day. Obviously really good against Mirana if you can get in range, and Doppelganger does not dispel it, so a good way to tell which the real PL is, I guess. Evasion is always nice. In fact, they don't really have any heroes. I mean, there's a butterfly being built by iLTW as well. Don't really want to buy MKB on anybody. Like maybe Mirana, like much later in the game? Feels like she relies on...
I think Mirana doesn't mind buying MKB too much, because she has so good attack speed, right? She get a lot of procs.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's one hero, though. You know, PL's still that hero. Dragon Knight's not going to get anything like that. He's just a setup stun, essentially, at this stage. Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you. I am really excited to see if this Mirana. I'm kind of rooting for it, just because it's not a hero we get to see so often. At all. And if we do, it's a support, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Gilgar getting spotted out.
Gilgar is really high level. He's level 13. GH is level 9. Super high level on this hoodwink in this game.
Courier?
Get involved.
Dead. Very dead Courier. Bushwhack onto 2, plus the spike carapace ends up stunning him in turn. Arrow doesn't connect there. The break is now to GH. Rasmus trying to do as much damage as he can from the sideline. That's the buyback on the hoodwink though. Bornia not able to leap to the high ground to finish off the Nyx assassin. Just gonna get beat down by these illusions in the meantime. Rasmus needs to just reset here. Ace from afar has the shard now. Those illusions are gonna be much more annoying with that Spirit Lance. He's getting chased. Another great Bushwhack stun, but Ace is just gonna get bursted down in the end. Doesn't have another doppelganger to work with. Egg is on the high ground, but he's too far away. Rasmus just getting right click from afar. Borania, no leap to speak of. If they can find this kill, this will be enormous. That'll be it. So it's a 2-for-1. It only costs them the support. Now they can beat onto this tier 2.
They got the Nyx with, I think, the final rig of Ice Blast, or it's been very close to the end. We do get that, but really, really good 4-step from Pearl. Cool item choice as well. Like, it's a way of solving the Bushwhack problem. You don't see this item bought first on Phoenix very often, but he gets this ability to disconnect the combos that Felder's Mesh are trying to do with Hoodwink Stun into Arrow, Dragon Tail into Arrow, and Ice Blast. So basically that 1 4-step last fight, I think it made the Arrow miss and the Ice Blast miss on the Terrorblade that they were trying to kill. So good foresight. I really like the choice this game.
And from Bornia's side, he is still a bit away from finishing the shard. And maybe you have to even see a Roche attempt here. Later than we would normally see, but neither team crazy Roche takers by any stretch of the imagination. iLTW just going for the basic crit build. We've been seeing that basically every game from TP, one way or another. So I feel like we see Scotty ahead of that most of the time.
Never refuse good.
Not the case this time. Doesn't feel like it's worked out really well.
The major.
Worked out really well and destroyed TB, but I agree. I'm a little surprised he's not going for more stats based. But we'll see how it works. Let's see.
Bornea is 500 away from that shard. I'm mainly curious to see what he queues up after it. I think it's going to be MKB.
Yeah, I think it has.
But he can deal with Terrorblade better.
Well, they're going to 5-man smoke into the Moonlight Shadow, the classic combo. See if they can find anybody on top of this. So looking for the Dragon Tail initiation into Arrow or the Bushwhack. A little bit separated right now. Rasmus, yeah, they can't figure out which way they want to go. Bushwhack onto the, yeah, they have to show themselves now.
Good read from Nigma, they know exactly.
Radiant's middle
They
tower.
did actually moonlight and smoke under that ward, right? Top ward.
Oh, Chakram on top of him. Rasmus, of course, like you said, does not have the BKB, so he might just get bursted down. That is a super easy kill, and just like they don't have your offlaner, but does have buyback available. Of course, without Dragon Form, though, how much use are you? See the sharpshooter used by Gilgar to try to get a little extra space again. Looks like it might be successful. Oh, Sleight of Fist was there. The chain. No, not gonna happen. They only get one, but it might cost. Get the cost of Roshan.
Big prize for Big Boy. Big Boy is dying very fast.
Big juicy boy.
That's one thing about having this crystal from Terrorblade. When you just get to attack road, so obviously makes it a lot easier and faster. Yeah, quickly from Nigma, I think the top ward that they place that's about to expire now did give them the vision that the smoke plus moonlight was coming, and they just counterplayed it.
BKB has to be popped by Bornea. The egg is there to try to save speed. Yeah, he's getting quite a bit of it. It's going to be enough with that 15 talent. They're going to get 2 kills on top of it. And now Tofu getting bursted down by mind control. Sharpshooter connects, but really to not much avail. Arrow connects as well, but not a whole lot of follow-up to speak of. Although Rasmus will get the Dragon Tail. Ace grouping up, but now the Chakram destroying Rasmus from 100 to 0. We talk about that all the time. Such a good counter to the Dragon Knight. And just like that, it's a 2 for 2 to the enemy base. Bushwhack, ooh, looks like it was going to connect there, but I think that was the Whirling Death preventing the trees from stunning them.
All right. Other smashes, they do trade there, but again, Dragon Knight is just being punished so hard. And a big problem that Smashers have in this game, I feel like you're really seeing the night and day between Game 1 and Game 3 here for how Phantom Lancer's game is. He's been relatively quiet. We're 26 minutes in. Ace he's 1, 2, and 4. Haven't really seen him do very much damage on his PL because he can't go in. And that's where it matters so much that there's other people in the fight that set something up, stay alive, and PL gets to wrap around and find a Phoenix or a Nyx or something that he just gets on, gets that free kill, and then snowballs from. Because his targets aren't great. Like, you don't want to go on Timbersaw, you're not going to kill that guy. Ember is too mobile and hard to catch. And the Terrorblade had Aegis, so in that fight, you're really, like, pick your poison, you know?
The Moonlight Shadow coming out.
Gonna get away, no detection.
Look at Rasmus's neutral item, by the way. He has a Philosopher's Stone. That's how bad his game is right now. Just needs the gold from KP. Absolutely.
Nice juke from, or escape from Gilga here. Very good use of the sharpshooter to get to the low grounds. He's still dead, they found him.
I think he's only, alright. Scurry up in 2 seconds. I finally found him. He's only a level 14 in terms of Dota Plus. I'm a little surprised by that. Although I guess the hero hasn't been out that much. But there are some level 30s already.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
But he's played so well. Probably spams the crap out of this thing. It's iLTW on the steps of the enemy base now. The meta is popped. Hoodwink is dead for 50 seconds. Absolutely no buyback. Everything online for Team Nigma. Still not able to have a BKB coming out yet. iLTW. Oh, he gets arrows. Better be careful here. Ice Flex to follow. Casts under a teammate. He does so onto Kuroki. Ice Blast ends up being way too for the most part. Bornea has to go back to base now. Haven't really seen the leap into the crit strike yet. As, oh boy, they get the stun up on the Phantom. Like, Ace is bursted.
so good from GH. That Spirit Lance was not targeting Nyx, but the balance from the shard went on GH into Carapace and then got a max range stun.
Yeah, that's rough.
Huge punish onto Ace, and this is a really big problem. They're probably going to be forced to buyback the PL here. Yeah, I don't think Nigma has to go back. iLTW with Aegis could still go hit.
Still has arrow, but you can tell they just don't want to go on my control now.
Now they might take the
back. Aegis still on iLTW. Still in melee form, obviously. Meta's not available for another 90 seconds, and looks like they're trying to disengage. A-Block with the Dragon Tail setup. Into the lead here, the crit, Cinderin! The crit! It's not that much. It's not really not that much of it. Yeah, he needs
Good
another
participation award there. Gets the You Tried medal for the right clicks for 200 damage, of which 70% gets blocked by Timber.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But once he gets MKB is when it starts to
The
take.
rune of regeneration.
Yeah, then you still need to claw through a Timber with called Halberd Heart.
Yeah, you ignored him. That was definitely.
Yeah. This is looking really good for Nigma. I feel like they came in a little bit cold in game 1, and then in game 2, still not super convinced with how they played and what they strategized, but this game, it just feels cleaner. Like, there's more control of the map, there's a more clear game plan, there's more structured team fights. And I really think so much of that comes from the fact that they have this secondary way of catching and poking and prodding with the Ember. That's not to say TA obviously stomped in game 2, like Miracle has played great today. Just from a Unity perspective of how the heroes play, the flow of the game just feels natural. How they move around. Really liking their progression in the series.
Then reach to the tier 3 tower mid. They get it pretty much right off the bat. Here's the Dragon Tail A combo connects on for one essentially though. iLTW walks it off for now. They're gonna find the Hoodwick in the backside. Does have buyback. GH has the Aghanim Scepter. Talked about how he's getting heavily out-leveled. But he finds the farm. He's helped out here quite a bit. He's just gonna get into burrow form right next to the barrack. Bushwhack again, the setup, but no A blast to follow. There's the Sun Ray with the egg on the back line, healing up GH to a high degree. So much damage mitigation. Rasmus melts. And this is gonna be a second set of racks for Team Nigma. And they still have Aegis. No, they don't. They do not have Aegis.
Might come in here. They look. That's what they were lacking there. The smashes on that go. It was actually a little combo. Gilger got a 3-man stun with the Bushwhack, and then they connected Spirit Lance and some damage out of Barnea, but they didn't have the blast, so they got healed up by Sunray. They're again dodging away from Miracle. Gonna get healed up by Sunray once again.
It feels like without AA Blast, there's just no hope.
They don't have enough damage to get through that heal. So they either need to find the Phoenix with PL, so that Phoenix can't stand in the backlines and heal, or they have to Ice Blast combo. It really is the name of the game here.
Can you talk to me about this? So again, we had this discussion at the major, but Ace, he went Aether Lens with the Shard, which is kind of like, you know, you end up turning into an Octarine at some point, and it felt like a meme when it first came out, but it was pretty effective. Why choose it this game and not the previous one? Is there... I might have to hold on to these thoughts here, but I'm interested to know, like, why this game?
I think his mindset here is he's having a harder time going in, so he's kind of a land spot. And with this item, you get the cast range and you get the mono region and mono pool, so you can keep throwing out lances. Like, let's say he was building up toward a Scotty instead. The Scotty has almost no value because he can't use it in the fight. He can't go in. I guess that's how he's thinking. This is how I do the most damage in the game, and I'm kind of with him on it. It really makes you question, was this a good pick to begin with, right?
Well, the FPS has gone down the tubes. That means meta has been popped, Cinderin. Yep, that was meta. What caused my what was that? But that was a reflection. Reflection on multiple heroes. Okay.
You have found a nemesis match.
That's not true. Nobody does that. Nobody's playing that.
I actually like nemesis.
Big A blast onto 3. They blow up iLTW. No buyback for him. GH stuck inside his burrow. A big potential fight here if they can get more out of this. Dragon Tail is going to connect, but Miracle's created a lot of space between him and Hellbear Smashers. My control out of mana completely. So it looks like they'll be able to clean him up at the very least. So a nice mini comeback here from Hellbear Smashers. But what can they turn this into?
It took them 20 seconds, 5v1, to kill him, it felt like. But they got him.
Rough
He was
stuff.
out of mana.
Yeah.
All right, good
rough on the
hold.
Roshan time.
There are two lanes of barracks down, but that was a really good Ice Blast catch onto the Terrorblade. I'm not sure if Kuro wasn't able to force step him. I think he was stunned facing forward. So then obviously no way to get him out of trouble. And they pile on him. And that's a lot of gold going the way of especially Tofu and Borania. Borania is almost done with his MKB off that. Be a turning point, but there's still so much to cover from them. They're really far behind. The next Roche would be big. Spawning in 10 seconds, but no one is checking it. Tofu is kind of heading over.
Yeah, so they'll have about 20 seconds to take it before Timber's up, but yeah, they don't have a... I mean, I guess Mirana is starting to turn into a bit of a Roche killer. It's not the worst, but they wouldn't take it fast enough is what I'm trying to say, so Timber would be up anyway. So 11k net worth lead now for Team Nigma, and they are definitely in the driver's seat. 2 racks advantage, and will likely look for a pick into Roche as GH has scouted out that Roche has indeed spawned. That is with the Aegis, Cheese, and Shard. They can find... They might just run into Roche and force this fight, actually. Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen. Meta's pop. Rasmus on the outskirts. Jumps in with the Dragon form. The Dragon Tail. Oh my god, Rasmus melts. Holy Jesus.
He was not ready to get stunned by Nyx, though. He didn't BKB.
Yeah, that was rough stuff. He buys back, but like we talked about, useless human form activated. And Nigma know that. And there's creeps in the base right now. So they have to be pretty careful here. And Miracle's gonna jump in and get Dragon Tail though. He's gonna get pushed back into death. All right, 70 seconds on the deck. iLTW pops the BKB. That huge meta form. Still could go for Roche technically, but it's a 4v5 now. 4.5 versus 5 here. Talking about the Dragon Knight. Control. He's gonna get cold feet. Does proc. And you can see the mana just getting burned slowly but surely by Ace and these illusions. GH.
That Ember kill
looks like they're actually gonna defend this. Wow. Very nicely done. I was not expecting that. I mean, again, the creeps have beat down on this tier 4 tower. It's already at half HP for one of them.
Plenty of buffer. Just 1.5 towers left. They should definitely stay at Roche at all costs. Even AA, who could be tempted to go back and defend and then throw an Ice Blast, they need literally everything here. They need that magic damage. The increase from...
It's just so hard, though, with GH in his Burrow form. God, what an annoying hero to play against. Gets up the Spike Carapace, it's not really going to do much. Impale onto 1 with Chakram to follow. This is so hard to take, especially when you don't really do that much damage right now.
And they can't confidently go on the heroes because they don't know if
now they're
Miracle
base.
has buyback.
Now they're base.
I think valiant effort from Telbear's here to try to get the gold.
Perhaps trying to snag a little something, but iLTW ends up getting the Aegis, and the kill onto Hoodwink is very easy in the end. It's Ace is Moonlight Shadowed. Should be okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Not
attack.
have gem or anything, so
Radiant's middle tower.
I'll be happy with that exchange for sure. As the shard was picked up. I mean, I think they already had the Sunray, right? I thought they had the Sunray. I think it's Ember Spirit. Miracle picked it up. Fire Remnant. Yeah, Rasmus dead. Just 70 seconds on the deck. 7 seconds BKB still available to use. And this is what happens when you're playing against GH in this That's it. Okay, beautifully done. That is the Aegis. And Borania pops the BKB. You see the crit coming out. He still has 2 loops to go. He uses 1 to retreat though. It's be a tier 3 tower at the very least. You can see GH is continuing to heal in the midst of all this, getting surrounded by his teammates. That's basically a shield, but Hellbear Smashers are starting to drop like flies. As broken damage is going to be too much. It's going to be mega creeps at the very least. I mean to rhyme that. GH gets the Impale, connects on the 1, and this is going to be it. So this ends up being 2-1 for Team Nigma. I have to say, I mean, this game was a little bit more stompy, but Smashers in game